Come on. 1, 2, 3, go.
Oh my God, I will vote.
Everybody,
I will vote.
come on. Repeat, repeat.
Oh my God, I will vote.
Come on.
I will vote.
Hey, for Donald. Come on, all right.
I will vote for Donald.
So, y'all make this song that says, "Oh my God, I will vote for Donald Trump," right? 500,000 Cubans, Venezuelans, and Haitians have to self-deport by a deadline. I kind of feel bad for the Haitians because they really, some of them really didn't have nothing to do with it. But you know what? Never mind. That's none of my business. That's none of my business at all.
They thought they were leopards. Earlier this week, the Trump administration removed a program that Biden had implemented that allowed temporary legal status of immigrants from Cuba, Venezuela, and Nicaragua. The program, implemented by Biden, worked that you had to be vetted, work here, and have a financial sponsor. Trump decided no go. And 530,000 people who came here for temporary legal status to work are now going to have to leave. Their status has been revoked and they will have 30 days. I don't understand. Folks from Cuba that want to avoid an authoritative communistic regime like Castro somehow gravitate to the Republicans. Look at these flags on the boat. You think that Trump in any way is going to help anyone that's not white? Cubans aren't white enough.
For decades, Cuban immigrants have sought refuge in the United States, escaping political and economic hardship. The 1966 Cuban Adjustment Act gave them unique privileges, offering a smoother path to legal residency compared to other immigrant groups. Many Cubans embraced their newfound status, integrating into American society and, in many cases, aligning themselves with conservative ideologies that emphasize law, order, and legal pathways to immigration. Fast forward to today. A recent executive order has placed many legal immigrants, including Cubans, Venezuelans, and Haitians, at risk of deportation. Individuals who had built businesses, paid taxes, and contributed to American communities now face an uncertain future. For some, this decision feels like an abrupt betrayal, proof that immigration policies can change overnight, regardless of political alignment. This situation raises important questions about political loyalty, policy impact, and the broader immigrant experience.
So this is what I'm trying to understand here. What did Cubans who voted for Trump think? Did they think they were special? Did they think that Trump, who had been saying for months, even years, that TPS was not a legal way to come into the country, who thought that everybody from Latin America was munching of the government, who talked about the largest deportation in history, was going to just look the other way when it came to Cubans? Because what? Because they're special? These are the same Cubans that for a while kept talking about Mexicans and Central Americans and South Americans and saying that we were munching of the government for some weird reason, when most immigrants don't munch of the government because they don't even have a social security number. But well, I digress. The point is this. The guy told you straight up what he was going to do. And you thought you were exempt of whatever measure he wanted to take. And you didn't care about the rest of the people that were going to get hurt. And you still don't. And now you're crying on social media saying that they're illegally taking the people, that he promised to pardon you if you had, like, some guys, or say, like, if you had a college degree, then, or you were going to school. What do they think? That the rest of us don't have education, or that the rest of us don't speak multiple languages? We do. And most of us work hard and have an organized life. It's not like Cubans are the exception to everybody else. That's what happens. When you feel you're special like this, for no valid reason whatsoever, then when reality sets in, it feels like a brick right across your face. So you're in the find out phase. Because you guys voted for this, and you guys supported this. You guys supported a guy who put the embargo back on your island. And now the people that you have down there are suffering. Now you can't go visit him anymore. And on top of that, you're getting deported over there. So you voted for the guy who set up the embargo to send you back again to that embargo that you escaped from. So don't come crying.
Trump has revoked the legal status of over 500,000 Cubans, Nicaraguans, Venezuelans, and Haitians. This is crazy because there is so many Cubans in Miami. I actually have Cuban family, and a lot of them did vote for Trump. Yikes, how's it working out for you guys? Because they're like, no, he's not going to deport us. He's going to deport them, and them, not us. Yeah, well, the news is in, and you don't have the complexion for the protection. Oh, he FAFO'd, he FAFO'd, he FAFO'd, he FAFO'd. He effed around and found out. What do you guys think about this? Do you guys know any family members that have been affected by this at all? I have several Haitian friends, Nicaraguan friends. This is just not right. Everybody agrees we want to clean up our streets and get the criminals out of our country, but with due process. Due process. We have to process things. I mean, it's ridiculous. Does anybody remember the Constitution? I mean, it's so funny how many people are like, Constitution, I love the Constitution. Yeah, we're American. Yeah, and unless it works out good for you, and then you don't care. Because the honesty is, the human flaw is, if it's not in your front yard, you don't care about it till it gets into your front yard. Well, let me know, all my Cubanos, huh? Because my niece is Cuban. We're Jewish. We're Jubans. She's a Juban. I'm actually a cashew because I'm Catholic and Jewish. My wife is Catholic. Anyway, I digress. Patriots, let me know what you think in the comments.
Cubans for Trump. It's not a clapback. I'm not trying to fight with you. We had enough words before, during, and after the election. I know that you've been living your life by putting, and like most Trumpsters, you put your head in the sand, only listen to the Fox News, and he's banking on that, and you haven't been paying attention to what's going on in the world. Trump, as of about 7 hours ago, revoked the parole program for more than 500,000 Cubans, Haitian, Nicaragua, and Venezuela. And that's not the bad part of this, right? The bad part about this is, right, is that he's given everyone, as of March 25th, 30 days to leave this country on your own. If not, Homeland Security and ICE are coming for you. Now, I'm entitled to, and I told you so. I don't take any pleasure in telling you this news. I try to help you before the election, because had we had Kamala Harris, this would not be happening to you, and it would not be happening to me, because I know goddamn well I'm next. I'm Puerto Rico. I'm next. Somehow, some way, my ass is next. So, with that being said, you've had your head in the sand and you haven't been paying attention to the news because all you listen to is Fox News. Well, what has been happening is that undocumented immigrants, or those that he has now deemed no longer welcome in the country, have been rounded up, but they're not being sent back to their countries. They're being sent to El Salvador because Marco Rubio, one of your own, made an agreement with El Salvador and the president that's Arab, and made an agreement that that's where they're going to send the deportees. That center is one of the worst prisons in the world, known as the confinement of terrorism. And that's where he's sending people without any criminal records. Just go look it up. And maybe you were one of those Cubans that was clapping your hands. That's exactly what needs to happen, but that's about what's going to happen to you if you do not willingly deport yourself out of this country. I tried to tell you a week ago in another video that you needed to start making other arrangements other than the United States. And I know none of you chimed in. None of you want to hear. I'm pretty sure most of you got me blocked. You need to put your girl down as somebody you need to listen to, because what I've said to you up to date is absolutely accurate, as I called it. With that being said, please know that birthright citizens are next, and so are naturalized citizens, and so are green card holders. I told you before the election, he only wanted your vote, and now he's proven it. He don't give a. You voted in can't even say it. You voted a dictator, just like Fidel Castro, into office, and now you're seeing the cruelty of what it is to be a dictator. I don't want to see you separated from your kids, and I most definitely do not want to see you end up in that prison. Please heed my warning. Start making arrangements for a country other than the United States, because within the next couple of months, this country will not accept you anymore, and I don't give a what your citizen status is.
Can someone explain to me why we're revoking the legal status of 500,000 Cubans, Haitians, Nicaraguans, and Venezuelans? I mean, because we can't handle any more migrants. We got to close the borders. And yet Trump has opened the door for South Africans interested in U.S. asylum. I mean, those who are descendants of mainly Dutch settlers, of course, who arrived in the 17th century because they are victims of unjust racial discrimination. I mean, maybe it's just me. I mean, what's the difference? I can't seem to put my finger on it. Maybe you guys can help me out. I'm just really confused.
Just ordered the deportation of 500,000 Cuban, Venezuelan, and Haitian immigrants that came here the right way. And my question for my fellow Cubans is, are y'all still feeling special? My entire childhood was spent being fed the narrative that our family came here the right way, and that everybody else that's complaining about being deported, well, they just need to go back to where they came from, start the process over legally. I don't want to ever hear another Cuban American say some shit like that ever again. I'm going to laugh in your face. Maybe you all will finally realize that no matter how much you try to blend into white Western European culture, no matter how much you try to pretend that you don't eat ham croquettes for breakfast and that you've never had ajiaco for dinner in your entire life, the problem is that Donald Trump is never going to see you as human. It's always been about racism. Here's the part that we like to talk about in our homes when no one else is listening, but I'm going to go ahead and say that quiet part out loud. You all think that you are better than every other type of Latino American. Conservative Cuban Americans, MAGA Cuban Americans, think that you are better than every other flavor of Latino American. And now we have proof. You are no different. We are no better than anybody else. No matter how many times you place your vote for Donald Trump and the Republican Party, they are still going to see you as subhuman. And even if you hang your hat on the fact that you came here the right way, at the end of the day, it's not going to matter to him, because if he wants you gone, he's going to find a way to disappear you.
Drop your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more in-depth discussions on important topics shaping our world today.